Let's start the conversation from the topic of what all value can digital product development bring into new businesses. So that is where the starting point is going to be, and then we will flow the conversation ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I feel in terms of the whole space when we talk about building digital products and building, say, softwares or any kind of platforms, let it be a SaaS, let it be a web application, or for a particular business. I feel in the day and age we are in and how things are changing today, any business cannot survive without having digitized, say, their processes, the way they're working, or anything.
So, Himanshu, what I feel is one of the topmost reason that any business owner in today's age should consider going digital is one, which is risk of getting left behind. I feel if you're not going to use tech, if you're not going to empower your team, your business using all the new innovation that the tech is bringing, you will be left behind in this whole competitive market, is what my take is.
Yes.
Have you seen anybody who has got left behind? Any case study that you have felt that, this business got left behind just because it did not upgrade?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to talk about businesses, or I don't want to take a particular name, but I have seen clients who have come to us in the past, and they are now thinking about, say, building, digitizing certain processes in the company. And those are the same clients that we've been working with in the past, right? So it's not that we haven't engaged with them. So we ourselves have told them, okay, probably it's time to maybe build a software around digitizing a certain process, right? So they've said at that stage, no, I don't think so. Like, their feeling is it's not worth the investment. The process, like the things they were doing were still working. It's not that the business wasn't working the way it should have been, but they saw a certain scale up in their business at one point, which was good for them. But at that stage, they realized that it's too difficult to be doing all of this manually. This is just an example, but difficult to be doing all of this manually, right? And at that stage, they think, oh no, I think they should, like, we should be doing, we should be digitizing all our processes and build a digital product that helps us run our business more productively, right? But at that stage, they were so behind in the game, where all their competitors were already offering the services that they should be offering in a digital manner, that I feel they were left behind in the market.
Interesting. So let's discuss the starting point, which is, let's take an example of, there is a guy who is in his mid-40s. He is probably leading a big team of talented individuals. Probably they are in some domain of insurance or banking or probably consumer electronics or something. And he decides, my vision is I want to go digital. What is the starting point?
In my opinion, the starting point would be, is there a problem that he's trying to solve? Going digital, yes. People think, I want to go digital. They want to probably digitize their process, probably build a software that helps them run their business in a more productive way. Yes, all those are the right things. But if he says, or if a particular person says, I want to go digital, I want to digitize my processes, what is the problem that he's trying to solve, right? That people have said, and I've read somewhere, that if you write down your problem, 50%, if you can clearly write down your problem, 50% of the problem is solved right there. But that's right. But first he needs to identify what is the problem. Is there a problem? And then work on solving that. In my opinion, once he has established that there is a problem and we need a solution around it, then the solution is digital. I feel that's that probably is a starting point to building any digital product.
Okay, so what you're saying is clarity of thoughts.
Yes,
is the starting point of bringing the vision to your, digitization journey.
Yes.
So let's talk on clarity of thoughts. Okay, how can somebody, as you mentioned, that if he writes down in clear manner what he wants, etc. What are the other ways that you think? I mean, I can think of a couple of ways. That's why this question is there. What I feel is the thing that has worked for me is mind maps. I have, there are a lot of times wherein I get a project wherein, okay, fine, this is a vision that it's a conceptual vision. Yes. And they want to execute, okay, this is what I think would disrupt my market. and this is what I want to build. But it's very conceptual, very ideation
Yes.
based thoughts that they have. And then I have to sit with them. My team has to sit with them, and they have to, we have to churn out the exact vision of how the product is going to look like.
Yes.
Now, what I have observed is there are 2 to 3 ways by which I have gained the clarity of thoughts. Of course, one being mind maps. A lot of things that are available online, but I prefer the old school way, which is a whiteboard and a marker wherein you just mind map everything. For everyone else, mind maps is just a way of, expressing your thoughts in a very natural manner. The way neurons communicate, that's how mind map is. You can just, Google or YouTube mind map, and you'll understand what mind mapping is. So that is a basic technique one of the techniques that I use to gain clarity of thoughts in any vision that I want to execute. Then other than mind maps, I think I have also observed that a lot of people do use to-do lists. Do you think to-do lists are efficient in gaining the clarity of vision? Not in execution, I'm saying.
In gaining clarity of your vision, I honestly, I don't know how to-do lists come into the picture. Probably one of the reasons is I don't use it in a way. I'll tell you a bit more about how I would feel, or how I feel you can actually gain clarity of your vision, or actually build a product brief or something in a more clear manner. And I feel what works is, yes, absolutely what you said, mind maps is a very good way of achieving that. Next would be if you're a business owner, and you have, say, a team of 40 people that work with you, and now you as the business owner have come up with the idea that we need to be building a digital product. But again, the whole process starts where, what are we building, how are we building it, what's the vision and everything. What I feel is brainstorming with your future stakeholders, because when you actually get into the building of any digital product, obviously all the stakeholders will come into the picture, right? Representatives of different departments, and they will put in their take. Everything will collaboratively give out ideas and work out what needs to be done, right? But stakeholders need to be brought in earlier in the stage, even at the ideation phase, even before they have engaged with a tech company, but only internally they're talking about the business owner has come up with the idea that we need to be doing this. He or she needs to be engaging the potential future stakeholders and brainstorming with them. I feel that becomes a very good way of opening up ideas, because you are thinking about it with in a certain way. And what we would like, from my experience, I would say that tunnel visioning is the worst thing that can be done when you're actually trying to build out a vision, right? If you're thinking from a tunnel vision point of view, you only see a small hole at the end, and that you think is your vision. But when you bring in other stakeholders, your future stakeholders, and I keep saying future stakeholders because people do not actually engage them at this conceptual or ideation phase, which everything's happening in their head, yes, but they need to engage with people, engage with the team who this digital product will directly impact, right? That's my feeling. But I would still like to know around the to-do list thing, because I didn't answer that question. How do you feel to-do list come into the picture?
So I think the layout that to-do list actually follows is good for executing something.
Right.
But as far as clarity of thoughts are concerned, I think there are other better ways of doing it. There are a lot of mind maps being one. Journaling is another one. Then there are a couple of more ways also that you can very easily find online. Mood boarding is one. Vision boarding is another one. So all these ways I feel are better to first develop your vision that, okay, fine, this is the idea. But then how do I gain a bit next step clarity of this idea? Great. So I think, Himanshu, now that somebody has his product vision clear, the next step is what? Let's talk about the next step.
Discovery. And it's a very it's probably one of the most, or the most important part of your whole project, right? If we call this whole building of the digital product a project, that phase or discovery phase, or the discovery part of the project, is going to be the most important part of your project. Because what happens is, people they've come up with the idea, they have worked out their vision, they've done all the right things up until then, but then when they actually get down to the execution part, okay, now we engage, say, with the tech team, and somebody engages with us, and now they want to build a product. The discovery phase needs to be, however long it takes, we should be spending that time. How much ever effort we need to be putting into the discovery phase, how much ever investment we need to be putting into the discovery phase should be put in. So yes, so in when I'm saying discovery phase, we need to be doing everything, all sorts of user research, all sorts of interviews that we do to build, say, UX of the app, wireframing of the app, iterating on the wireframes, doing tests on the wireframes, actually with the future users, giving them the wireframes to actually test out, and recording their reactions and seeing if they're getting stuck, if they're not getting stuck. All of these things are going to take time. But what happens when somebody's come up with the vision, they want to do it fast, right? They actually, okay, cool, let's build it, let's get it out in the market. The rush of getting it out into the market is probably maybe it probably holds a big risk, because you might build the wrong product, even though your vision was correct, even though the idea that you came up with was correct, and conceptually everything was fine, but the end product that's now built can be incorrect and can not actually match to your objectives. And that is the biggest risk, right? That not actually achieving your objective. You have set out with an objective, which is good. Now you're out there and you want to achieve that objective, but you build the product and it does not actually achieve your objective. So I feel when we are going through the whole discovery phase, it is very important that's done in the right way, that we give the right time to it, give the right money to it. And as an output, we have something, when the end product's out, we have something that actually achieves your goals, right?